This is how I would use AI to get an interview without spamming applications. It's day 4, welcome back. I'm showing you how I use AI in real life to save time, reduce overwhelm, and ultimately get better results faster. Most people apply for dozens of jobs and hear nothing back. It becomes a numbers game, and I teach people to flip that and go direct. So now I'm going to walk you through the 5-step method that I've created and I use and teach to help my clients get in front of the right people at the right companies. And this isn't about spamming CVs or firing off 50 applications and hoping something sticks. This is about doing something deliberate, choosing exactly where you want to work, understanding who really makes that decision, and using AI as a thinking partner to help you show up properly, not generically. So if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but still not getting interviews, this will change how you approach the whole process. So let's get into the 5 steps. So one, we want to choose the top 3 to 5 companies that you really want to work for. The next point is to identify and articulate your value and your why statement. And I'll go into this a bit more as we go into depth. The third part is finding the highest value person at that company you want to work for. And that's usually the CEO, the co-founder, the owner, and if the company's a little bigger, perhaps a hiring manager or head of talent. Next, you want to feed AI with everything about their world. So anything in the public domain that they've written about, in blogs, in annual statements, in articles, anything on YouTube, anything public that you can use to help you to better understand what is their world all about, potentially any challenges they're facing. This is the killer piece. And then finally, you're going to use AI and ChatGPT once you've got all of that information to help craft that message. So the email, the voice phone script, and yes, you should be picking up the phone to these people. So let's get into it, guys. I'll show you a pure example of how this works. Okay, people, so let's look at this in practicality. So I took a screenshot of the 5-step interview process, added it into this feed, asked it not to action anything right now because it can get carried away sometimes when you send stuff into the chat. And then I opened up my phone, got the dictaphone out, and started talking like I always do. Because, like I've said in previous videos, this allows me just to be open, honest, and transparent and really just get everything off that I want to kind of articulate. So I told it what I wanted to do. I wanted to secure interviews this week. That was my goal. And then I basically went through the 5-step process. I listed the company, which was Salesforce. I listed all of the challenges that they faced. And I actually referenced a different chat. You can create back-end codes for different chats that you have within ChatGPT. So I created a back-end code for my chat around Salesforce and their challenges. I also did the same about myself, my why statement, and everything about me. I call that a channel on my ChatGPT, my Venn diagram. And in that, I've spent some time just feeding it a lot of information about who I am, my skills, my background, my passion, my interests. I then asked them to go ahead and find the head of talent. And again, you could put a LinkedIn profile for who that head of talent is. But if you don't know who that person is, then you can just ask them. So I've asked them to look into a lot. And then finally, I have suggested them to create or asked to create an email and a phone script to help me to get my foot in the door with that individual. And again, this is golden. It talks about my value and my why in Salesforce language. It talks about the hiring individual, their world, which is the back end code I was referencing. This is another chat I had on ChatGPT where I fed it a lot of information about Salesforce and its challenges. And then here's the email draft. The email draft, I asked for a LinkedIn version and a cold call script. I like this, but I thought it was not enough about the client and it was too much about me. So I basically said, look, this is excellent. And it's important to always be kind to ChatGPT. Who knows what's going to happen when the robots take over. One thing I'd like you to tweak in the tone is making sure that the messages I send are not about me, but rather about the challenge or the issue that Salesforce or the hiring manager or this business is facing. And then you can reference how my offering, my skills, or just me can be a solution to that. So, can you please rewrite the scripts based on that perspective? And again, it came back with some excellent scripts, ones that I would probably just copy and paste and fire away because they were so strong. The 5-step interview method is a method that allows you to turn cold outreach into warm conversation. If you took one thing away from it, it's this: context is key. The more you feed it, the better the results you'll get back. This was day 4. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. Thank you all.